Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Wednesday morning to you all. Hope you guys are having a great start to your day, a great work week so far, and just a great first day of June. We're in the sixth month of the year. We're just rolling on through it. I'm not going to lie, the summer weather fans are not going to like me saying this, but I'm already counting down the days to fall. I just love the end of August, even though right around here in South Carolina it's still hotter than Hades. But I love once you get into the end of August, beginning of September, when you know cool weather is right around the corner, football season, things like that. And I'm already counting down those days. I'm not going to lie. I am not the biggest fan of summer, especially when you live in the armpit of hell, South Carolina. It is just brutally hot here. And in fact, today is expected to reach the mid to upper 90s here in areas of the middle of South Carolina. But anyways, hope you guys are doing okay this morning. I got you an update on what's potentially going to unfold for today, as I always do. I appreciate the continued support. I'm hoping for a great second half of the year. It's been slow the last several weeks, but we're just rolling on through. I'm learning and being able to kind of carve out my craft as I grow. So it's really been awesome, an awesome first part of the year, and I really appreciate you guys. So if you guys have not subscribed, definitely consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. Appreciate the amazing support. If you guys got anything that I can pray about, please put it in the comments below. It gives me an opportunity to pray over it, and it gives others an opportunity to do so too. We all need to look out for one another in today's age. There's a lot of bickering on social media, a lot of bickering in person, but sometimes people just need some love, right? So let's make sure we do that today. So let's get rolling. Voice is cracking again. And here we go. You can obviously see there's a big eyesore on what you're looking at right now with water vapor loop. And really, it's the leftover convection on what happened yesterday. And it's just kind of moving across Oklahoma, areas of Nebraska. Not Nebraska, but areas of Kansas, also a small area of Nebraska. And then a lot of blowup of convection in Missouri. So sloppy morning in these areas of the country this morning. You can see it on the radar out of Oklahoma City. You got rainfall in Missouri too. We're just not in that radar range right now, but a lot of ongoing showers, heavier rains moving through areas of Oklahoma in general. Some severe storms in the panhandle of Texas, just northeast of Amarillo. Amarillo. And so, it's a pretty active morning across areas of the south central U.S. this morning. Moving forward, the Storm Prediction Center, I'm not expecting as active of a day as we saw the last 2 days. It seems like 2 days ago on our Memorial Day, it was the most active. Yesterday, it was pretty active. Then today will be a little less active. And then tomorrow will be even less active. But there's still two areas to watch. This big slight risk down here extending through areas of western and west central Texas, all the way through the whole bottom portion basically of Oklahoma, all the way through areas of northern Arkansas. And then you got a section up here in the northeast in areas of the Ohio Valley, through central Ohio, through the entire northern half of PA, and then a very large chunk of the middle part of New York State. I'm expecting some pretty active weather in the northeast today, where you basically got a northwest flow. And what I mean is you got a ridge of high pressure building over areas of the eastern U.S., but it kind of stops up in this area right here. So in general, you got the trough out here. You got a flow going like this through the trough, and then eventually it ridges around the high pressure, and you got a flow out the northwest. So that's what's going to happen. You're going to have a lot of showers and storms scooting by from the northwest today. So going to be coming from Canada down through the northeast. But let's get rolling here. So let's take a look at the southeast first. I'm not expecting a very active day. Really freak storm at my house last night. It was pretty wild. I think we got basically the only big time storm of the entire state yesterday, right around just after dinner time. It rained about 3/4 of an inch at my house in about a 30-minute period. It was crazy. It was awesome too. It's always good to get rain on those 20% days in the middle of summer. Well, not middle of summer, still early summer, but it's always good to get rain when you're not calling for it, because I tell you what, here in the southeast, you guys know it. You never know when you're going to go 2 to 3 weeks without rain. And it happens sometimes. Every few summers we get this terrible stretch where everybody's yard gets crunchy, gets brown, and just no rain when it's raining 10 minutes up the road, but it just won't rain at your house. Anyways, across the immediate southeast, you're just going to have normal pop-up showers and storms. Crazy footage out of the Tampa Bay area yesterday with a tornado. I mean, it looked like something that Doctor Strange would come out of, just the clouds and the atmosphere, above the heads here. A tornado dropped down in parts of Tampa, but there was just a crazy video of a swirl in the clouds, and it looked wild, like out of this world wild, something out of War of the Worlds or something. But anyways, hopefully you guys don't get any tornadoes tomorrow. I meant today or anything like that, but I am expecting more pop-up showers and storms for sure. And then just in general, anywhere from the Carolinas, Virginia, through areas of Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, some pop-up showers and storms are possible, but more of a widespread threat as you get into Arkansas a little bit later this evening, as I'm expecting rounds of showers and storms to move through, where you have that slight risk up here for storms. You know, I didn't even mention the threat risk here, but a 2% risk of a tornado in this given area right here, 25 miles in any given location. The threat's not that large for tornadoes. Damaging wind threat, 15% risk in these two areas, and then the hail threat. Really, the biggest hail threat will just be down here in the south central U.S. So sorry I missed that, did not talk about that. But in general, we look up into the northeast. This is where it could get quite active today. I'll start off around 11 a.m. Eastern time. We keep this rolling until about midday, early this afternoon. Here they go. Waves of storms moving out of Canada into New York State. So, you know, if you're a big fan of a good old classic thunderstorm, you're going to probably get it somewhere in the northeast today. But the highest chance for damaging winds as you can get with these northwest flows is in New York State and these areas right into here, as basically showers and storms will form. And any of these storms could pack a punch in areas of central, northern areas of Ohio today, areas of Pennsylvania. As we're getting into around dinner time, these storms will meander into areas of southern New England. So it might be pretty active in Connecticut, especially western Connecticut and western Mass as you get later into the evening. But they will start to lose some steam as they enter deeper into southern New England. But, you know, some of these areas of storms could pack a punch. This is around 7 p.m., you know, showing a big, powerful storm right here in central New York State. So please be careful today, you know, especially if these storms can get bowed out right here. Damaging winds could be a big threat with this. So I'm expecting a pretty nasty line of storms to really develop late afternoon, early evening, and really make its way into southern New England. And then you could have a little bit more of a rocky late evening for, you know, at southern New England a little bit later this evening, maybe as you're putting the kids down to sleep and just kind of chilling out for the night. But it will gradually lose some steam too as it makes its way into the North Atlantic. But definitely an active day across this region right here with numerous showers and storms. South central U.S., it's going to be a rainy morning throughout the morning, areas of showers and storms. Kansas, an area of storms. Oklahoma, storms leading all the way up to midday. And then eventually the atmosphere will destabilize regardless. And you could have some waves of storms in areas of northern Arkansas. The coverage will probably be a little less so in areas of Missouri, but you guys could see some storms also. And all these storms could produce. Now look at these couple little cells in areas of Texas, western Texas. These look like classic supercells. So if you're a lone storm chaser out there, way out there in the boondocks, you could see a really photogenic storm. It's certainly possible. This is that time of the year where it's already been very dry out here, so you could get a haboob that fires up, you know, where it's just really dusty, and the updrafts of the storms really kick up all the storms and all the winds and things like that. So some photogenic storms are definitely possible out here, but dangerous also. Normally when they're photogenic, normally they're pretty dangerous. Pop-up storms are possible in Louisiana today, Mississippi, and just ongoing waves of storms throughout Arkansas as you get to around dinner time. And just a messy day across the south central U.S. for sure. And definitely some rain is possible up in Missouri, and some waves of storms later this evening getting into St. Louis are possible for sure. The western areas of Ohio Valley and the north central U.S., a pretty quiet day. Cooler today, more like a spring day. But I'm not really expecting much. Maybe an area of showers could form and sneak into areas of southeast Iowa a little bit later this evening, and then eventually overnight get into northern areas of Illinois. But other than that, not a whole lot going on. Temperature-wise, one of the hottest days of the year, when you probably match the little bit of humidity that will be here with high temperatures. I'm talking mid to upper 90s in areas, especially of those central and eastern areas of the Carolinas. I think Columbia could easily get maybe 95 plus today. Fayetteville is another always hot spot. Augusta, Florence. You guys could definitely reach the mid to upper 90s a day. Will we see a 100-degree reading? I doubt it, but I wouldn't be surprised, I can tell you. But it's interesting. You see what's going on here. Classic, just early summer heat in this area of the Deep South, 80s and 90s. And then, 80s and 90s reaching as far north as Ohio. But you can see you got the trough that's kind of stretching out against, throughout the eastern and middle part of the country, right? Where you got much cooler temperatures, rain-cooled air across areas of Kansas, Nebraska. A nice day, a nice low humidity day in areas like Iowa. But you're still clinging some cooler than average temperature. I got a guy up there watches faithfully every single day. And we're having a hard time because he wants to get these summer temps back in place. But you guys will still remain cool. I think it's just the Great Lakes. Y'all know it better than I do up here, especially if you get a flow that, comes off the Great Lakes. You guys stay much cooler. But it's definitely not going to be a warm day today up here in northern Michigan. But 60s and 70s for basically the Dakotas, Minnesota, Wisconsin. But what's interesting is you can see where the ridge builds right here, right? And then there's a tight gradient where, areas of New York State, southern area, southwest areas of the state, areas of PA are very warm. But then you get into the interior areas of the Northeast up to Maine. It's pretty chilly. Not chilly, but it's definitely more cooler, more crisp. It was pretty wild watching that backdoor cold front move through areas of the Northeast yesterday. And how, some of you guys rose to the mid-80s by mid-morning and then dropped all the way into the 60s within like 30 minutes. It's pretty wild how that can happen. But the western U.S., pretty quiet day. It definitely quiets back down, some showers, maybe a storm or two in areas of southwest Montana, maybe some higher elevation snow, and then some showers entering back the northwest areas of Washington State. Other than that, pretty quiet. Temperatures remain a little bit below average, especially where you're, closer to where the trough just passed. So rain-cooled air in this area. Denver is going to be quite a chilly day, but you're starting to warm back up in this area of the west. But in general, nothing definitely above average out here at all. You're starting to warm back up in these areas right here where you were never really influenced by the trough, the cold front, but you're starting to warm up down here for sure. The tropics, we'll talk about this tonight. There is a 50% chance of development within 48 hours of this now. So this is different than the 5-day. Then they labeled this area too, but regardless of this forms, it's not going to affect anybody. There's a 10% chance this little disturbance off the southeast coast could form too. But if you look at the 5-day outlook, still that 70% chance, and this is 10. So we're still expecting development. I will tell you the GFS actually is moving a little bit towards that more aggressive European scenario, where it's actually ticked a little further north over the last 5 runs. This is about 4 or 5 runs to go. You move it all the way to the most present run for overnight Friday and a Saturday, bang, 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 bang. And it's gradually ticking towards that European solution, which has a low pressure making landfall just south of Tampa or somewhere like that. So we'll have to see what the GFS does today. This is, this is at the point where Florida is going to get impacted regardless. Is it going to strengthen into a tropical storm before landfall? That's a big question. I will mention, guys, I am very antsy to go chase. I really am. I need to stop procrastinating with my equipment for my Mazda, but I just have this lingering. It's not a feeling, but just a lingering thing that just keeps telling me just to wait before you spend all this money and set it up. So, my Mazda is a car that is nearing 200,000 miles, so it's hard to invest a whole lot of stuff into it, but it still runs like a champ. I tell you that. It took me all the way to Hurricane Ida last year. It took me all the way to Tampa last year. And it still runs like a champ. I'm just trying to take care of it and get maintenance done and everything like that. But I am antsy to chase. I don't know if I'm antsy enough to drive all the way to South Florida to chase a low-end tropical storm, but I tell you what, I want to. But that's a heck of a long haul. I know most of y'all, especially your adults who are watching, that's driven the entire length of the peninsula of Florida, even driving to Tampa Bay. It is a brutal drive. It feels so much different than when you're driving to, say, Mississippi. Like I drove to Mississippi, like South Central Mississippi back in March to chase. Didn't end up getting hardly anything, which is this, right? And then I drove to Tampa around just a few days before the 4th of July last year, or a few days after the 4th of July, to try to chase Elsa. And it's this. It's a little bit of a shorter length, but I tell you what, that drive was absolutely brutal. And I don't know if it's because I drove to Tampa and all the way back in an under a 20-hour period, or what, but I was absolutely just wore out. It was a terrible drive. But anyways, hope you guys have an awesome day. I'll be with y'all this evening. God bless all y'all. Have a great Wednesday.